Welcome to another Dead by Daylight review. Before I get into this, I just watched the Not Darva video where he was playing Pig. As well, I wanted to get in the mood for actually doing a Dead by Daylight review. And I just wanted to point some things out about the pig and as things that I don't understand. So the pig is supposed to be part of the Saw movie franchise. The whole point of the Saw games is to, well, with the regular Jigsaw, is to allow people a chance to play a game and escape. Whereas Amanda's version of the Saw games, even if they managed to escape, they died anyway. She's like a hardcore, just stone killer. Jigsaw wanted to teach lessons. Amanda just wanted to continue the legacy, but she broke Jigsaw's rules and killed them even when they did escape. So I understand why they implemented it the way they did in Dead by Daylight. However, she never actually killed them until after they managed to complete the game, not during, not before, or any of that. Is why I'm going over what I'm going to go over. In this particular, the things they can do in Dead by Daylight to make the pig fun for everybody. Because everybody already sees her as the lowest killer, so I mean, you really can't do much. One, redo the randomization of the boxes and all of that, and potentially add in more boxes. Because the whole point is, everybody's not supposed to be able to survive these. It's like every other killer's power, Pyramid Head's power. He gets a mini Mori that happens if you step in his trail of torment. The spirit gets a free kill, essentially, everything like that. Like, you should be, if you're playing well and you're doing what you need to do, a Rancor not is the perk. But if you're doing everything you need to do and you're playing a good game, you should essentially have that high potential of getting at least one trap kill. People who don't know the broken ass RNG that the trap boxes have. Again, I'll go over this one last final time. Wherever you are downed at and the trap is put on you, you need to go to the farthest box, stall box, and check that for the key. You have a huge amount of percentages to find the key there. If not, it's going to be in one of the, it's going to be in the second closest box towards the middle of the map to you. So that's it. You have like a very, very small amount, like a very, very small percentage of it spawning in the box closest to you. When I say small, I mean like super small. And then you have a roll of the dice. It spawned in the second closest box to you. But you should always go to the farther boxes first and check those because that's where you got the highest. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I remember that it's higher than 50% to get the farther box. It's right around like 20 to 25% afterwards to get the second closest box. The third box is like 10% or some shit. It's like super freaking small. And then the one closest to you is like super, super. It's like a 2, 3%, 5%, like something like really, really, really small and negligible. Now, the one time you roll the box that was closest to you, I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, most pigs don't know how to use their traps properly. Because pig's not a main killer a lot. People play it when they want to, see Verity and all of that. So, Because the RNG system is so bad and you can literally get that trap off, well, 99 out of 100 times, or at least 90 out of 100 times at those two farthest boxes. Sometimes it goes down and you have to search a third box, but it's rare, like very, very rare. I mean, the percentages would show you how many times. I don't have that information readily available. I'll have to go back in and look that shit up again. But trust me, it's extremely high. The farthest the one away from you it spawns, and the second one that's closest to the middle, closest to that one that's closest to middle, is the second spawn one. Generally, if you check those two, you'll find a key most times. If not, it's the one across, the third closest to you. It's rarely the one closest to you. And if you've ever gotten that one, the first one you've checked and it popped off, understand that you probably need to play the lottery. That's how low of a percentage chance you have of actually grabbing that one. They have not fixed the RNG on that since that's been out, and players haven't ever meted against it, so I guess they really have no reason to fix it. Now, what they could do is mix up the RNG with all of the boxes and add more boxes. Now, let me finish what I'm saying before you immediately say, no, I don't like this, Q. By adding more boxes and mixing up the RNG and having an even chance on all of the boxes, there's also, this is going to be part of an add-on, obviously. Adds in more boxes, however, the pig cannot down a survivor that has a trap on. Still, if the pig is within chase with that survivor, or the survivor is within, specific X amount of meters of the pig, the trap will stop to activate. It will not activate. It will not drain its timer. However, if the pig walks up and hits the survivor, there's two things you can do. You can do it like the Legion build, to where every time you hit a survivor, it takes a portion of their timer off. Or you can make it like a grab animation where she picks the survivor up, like holds them by the back of their neck, sticks a screwdriver in the trap, or sticks her knife or her hidden blade into the trap, and then pushes the survivor away, which gives them a small speed boost, but they lose, part of their time. So if a pig decides to trap a particular survivor and then continue to tunnel them, she's losing time doing, everything else in the map. And it's not just, you down a survivor, you trap the survivor, you hook the survivor, that survivor goes down, and then you just chase them, knowing that they have a timer on their head. Or you wait at the farther two boxes and you wait for them to approach, and then you chase them away till they die, or you down them again and hook them when they're at the end of their rope. That would alleviate all of that. You would have RNG with a lot of different saw boxes to where that person can still run from box to box to box to box and actually play the game. It allows them to take more time, so generators aren't being done, but it also solidifies that you're actually, the survivor's not just canned. The pig may be considered one of the weakest killers and may be being memed on, but having a trap on your head and getting tunneled by the killer is a certain game over for you. And with the new ranking system, where, when you're starting out, you don't need a significant amount of sacrifices and points as a killer, because you can get up very far or very high in rank without it. It makes it extremely easy for a pig to get up through gold, just about the iridescent. Then you just add in your regular, skills and all of that, drop traps at appropriate times, and you can easily push in the iridescent. I've never gotten Pig to iridescent one because I've never completely owned her on any of my consoles or anything like that. I just played her back in the day when you had the tokens that gave you the ability to play her. I just play her through that shit. because I had a lot of tokens. I played her every once in a while, every blue moon. I've played her at a friend's house a couple of times because he likes her. You know, just here and there, on and off over the past couple of years. But I've watched content and things like that to formulate a further opinion. But it would be nice that after you got a trap on your head, you weren't just immediately tunneled. I can't tell you how many times I get taken down, get a trap on my head, and get hooked. And then the pig just hide over in a goddamn corner. And as soon as I get pulled off the fucking hook, they're right on my fucking ass. Not even the person that hooked me, right on my ass, tunneling me. It's like I got a trap on my damn head that's ticking down. You have the add-ons and shit available. Like, why are you going after me? You've already stalled my timeout. And then I get taken down again. And then I get hooked. And then somebody saves me. And then as I'm going to boxes and shit like that, as soon as I fail the first box, if the key's not there, which again, there's a high amount, the pig immediately comes, tunnels me, and sends me on my way. It's rare that I actually die to a trap, because the pigs know that the traps are basically really bad RNG, and that the survivors are going to get the traps off of their heads way before uh way before they'll die from them. So again, if you can just hit a survivor to decrease their timer a couple of seconds or something, or have a grab animation where she does an animation with her blade to speed up the timer or something, on those types of situations where you're wanting to camp survivors. Because I mean, now the caveat to this is survivors will have to have the traps off their heads before they escape trial via hatch, via exit gate, or anything like that. That's going to be the caveat to all of that. So the survivors have to have the traps off of them before they leave the trail. However, the pig can still influence it, but it's not a survivor with a trap on their head going down constantly and getting tunneled and getting pushed away from the box that they need. Because again, if I'm over here working on a box and the pig comes by and hits me, it interrupts my progress. It's not a safe progress thing. I can't go to the box, get about halfway through, loop the pig, pallet stun her, and then get the rest of the box. No, it resets the progress all the way to zero when that happens. So it's very unfortunate the way that things are set up when it comes to the cell boxes. If you're interrupted, there's nothing you can do. And if you're on a particular saw box and all of that, and the pig walks by, instead of making it to where she can just hit you and interrupt you, make the skill checks become more rapid. Or make it to where she can walk up to the saw box and like press a button or something. And it'll automatically finish the search. But, well, if it's a fake one, not the one with the key in it, it'll automatically finish the search, but you take like 50% of your remaining time away or something crazy. To where it's not just a down, they're just losing time instead of just getting down and camped and hooked and all of that. The pig, what she's missing is fairness. There needs to be fairness for the pig, there needs to be fairness for the survivor. The pig needs to know that she can rely on her traps to not only stop survivors from, going around doing things, but also making it to where you can get that almost guaranteed, if you play it right, almost guaranteed kill once a game. And that's what you really want to look for from your power. Your power should at least guarantee you the down and kill once a game. Huntress's hatchets, you'll probably get more than one down, but it'll at least or one kill using the hatchets. Because that's kind of her caveat. Dead Slinger's, gun. all of that. The power set should at least give you one kill. If you play it good, you keep on the survivor. If you're chasing another survivor and you see that survivor at a box, go and add a little pressure to them and then continue on doing what you're doing type shit. If that survivor's running behind you to try and pause their timer as you're moving across map, you can just grab them and increase their timer or decrease their time they have left and then throw them or something and push them on their way. Obviously, with that, there's going to be a cooldown because you're going to lose a significant amount of time. But that's the thing. Time is what you should be taking from them, not downing them and then hooking them and then downing them and then hooking them and then down. That's redundant, it's stupid, and it's a pain in the ass. Because when you have a trap on you, if you don't know what you're doing and you search every box, from one box that's closest to you to the next box that's closest to you to the next box that's closest to you, most times it'll be the farthest away box that everything spawns in. So you're going to be down to your last couple of seconds by the time you get to that final box. If you are interrupted at all during that, if you are interrupted while you're going to the box, if you're downed and rehooked or anything like that, or pulled away from that particular path and you're not constantly sprinting, you're essentially dead. Because obviously the pig's going to be running add-ons and things like that. So if you're interrupted at any point in time, you're basically dead if the last box you go to has the key. That's what Amanda was known for, is interfering with the trials and then killing people after they've won the trial. So after they get the thing off their mask and all of that, they're supposed to walk free. However, Amanda still kills them and then hooks them, or knocks them down and hooks them. That keeps up with regular Saw lore. She's influencing the traps, making them harder. That keeps up with Saw lore. And then she's still sacrificing them even if they get the traps off of them instead of letting them go. That keeps up with Saw lore. It makes her a lot more balanced. It makes her more playable, and it makes the situation more fun. When you have a trap on your head, you immediately go to the boxes and all of that. Now, second caveat, word to that. If a survivor elects to work on a generator with an active trap on their head, their timer will increase by twice the amount. So let's say you have 1 minute to get the trap off and go to all the different saw boxes on the map. And you test your luck, or make your choice in this case. If you stop at a generator, your timer is going to increase. You're going to lose 2 seconds or a second while you're working on that generator. So if you're ballsy, or if it's the last generator and it's just two of you and you're at the end of your rope and shit, maybe put that excess time into a generator and all of that and do whatever it needs to be done. However, if you are caught around the generator by the pig and she picks you up and she, adds that additional time in, you will have double time added in for not playing her game. So you'll be punished. Actually, you can actually make it to where you can be downed if you go X amount of meters around a generator. Because you're no longer playing her game. People that do not play the game get punished. That's more Saw lore as well. So if you do elect to touch a generator with a trap on, then it should be all fair game. One, she's going to be alerted that you're not playing the game and you're at a generator. And then two, you can become, moriable, I don't know, hit, downed. You break the rules, you pay the price type of situation. And there's a lot more things you can do expanding open this particular pig. Giving a whole bunch of other methods of control, methods of playability, You can develop new strategies. You can get rid of some of the shitty ass old add-ons that she has and replace them with something that's more relevant for today's game. You change the title. I will be posting at least a link to this particular video on the forum with feedback and suggestions, so hopefully somebody from behavior will take note. However, that's what we kind of want to see, is a more balanced Saw game. You came out with Sadako. Sadako is good. She's, the horror experience. It's got all the flashy visuals and all of that. And she's, an average killer, an average C rank killer without any of her better add ons and perks and all of that. You know, it's a fun experience going against her. Terrifying, scares people that are lighthearted and all of that. She can sneak up on you if you don't pay attention. That's good for roleplay. Pig, everybody's just like, well, Pig's the worst killer in the game. Let's meme Pig and all of that. Like, make Pig great again. Let's boost her up, change the way she, functions and all of that. And, there's nothing to lose. If she's already considered the worst killer, then let's change her because she's going to be considered the worst killer regardless. All of these things that I'm talking about can be incorporated easily into add-ons, and you can get rid of the more useless add-ons or just add more in. Or the pig, she can be a special for that. Being considered the queen of bad, even though I don't particularly think she's too terrible. Being the meme queen of bad, giving more add-ons to change up the way you can play this particular killer would be fun. Will people like it? No, because people don't like change. Anytime you try to make a change, people are going to argue and say, no, don't do that. But people will accept it over time. And like I said, it's Pig. You meme about how bad she is, so how about we tune her up a little bit? You guys at Behavior can expand upon what I'm saying, and, I'm just trying to open a door to some, brand or grandeur, broader, more grand, more better ideas or better ideas. Hopefully, your team can really take that idea or some other idea that stemmed from that and just run out of control with it. Then from there, instead of, doing these projects and making more contracts and shit like that, you can start paying more attention to, your old characters like Trapper and things like that. Because, I have ideas for Trapper, Huntress, all kinds of things to just modernize them as opposed to, because, come on. Huntress throw shit, Trapper sits shit on the ground. Nowadays, we have killers that have special abilities, side abilities, teleport abilities, condemnation abilities, many more abilities, long range attack abilities, grappling hooks, we have more and newer killers that have all of these super huge, visuals and all of that. Which I understand it comes down to money too. The shit that people have to pay for and they can't get with iridescent shards are enhanced to make you want to buy them. I understand the marketing strategy and all of that. But after the market, ceases and people aren't buying the old content anymore, you can revamp the killers and you can sell an add-on pack for the old killers. You can sell that or make it iridescent shards, or you can sell it for the Orium and say, hey, we're coming out with an add-on pack for all of our old killers to change the way how they, act. Or you can even use my alternative killers method and introduce community killers and sell that as a pack with an add-on pack, or separate them and resell new ideas but for old killers and all of that, and just change a little bit of the coding and what they do and make it, a pseudo minor chapter, because I wouldn't give it a full chapter. unless you want to call it like alternative chapter. This will give you the option to introduce like any type of story mode if you wanted to, any campaign or anything like that. But it also gives you the ability to revisit killers, like your old original killers, and still make a profit base off of it that the player base would be interested in. Now, I know this is going to take a significant amount of time and effort and money and all of that, and it doesn't guarantee huge amounts of profits like coming out with a new killer that's popular. However, I do generally believe if you manage to put a good enough chapter together and give the community more content for the game itself, not new killers, but more Dead by Daylight content, you know, maybe some new maps and things like that, as opposed to new killers and survivors and all of that. Just new content, new challenges, new campaign missions, try to sort of still part of the story. Just extend that out a little bit. You ain't gonna complete the story. You can just tell part of a story. Maybe you have like the original couple few, like Meg and Dwight and all of them. Give them a hometown story where they lived at. And you play through that map and all of that. And then you run out into the forest like Meg did. I'm pretty sure that's what her story is. And then you disappear, and that's the exit gate. Or maybe even have a single player experience. I don't know how the hell that'd work because the bots are usually bad when it comes to that. But I mean, you might be able to make a good single player experience. I'm not really expecting it, but I mean, you can do like Titanfall 2 and have story built into the multiplayer experience. And as you play more and more maps and go to more and more areas, you can get lore. You can have lore drops on maps, like on the Huntress's table in the Red Forest. Could be lore that you can pick up, you know? Add droppables or collectibles or something like that into the game just to make it, something interactable with. Add in maybe, all kinds of different things, and we can take this game and we can escalate it and make it more modern. Because that's what Dead by Daylight is missing. It's not modern. It's an old game that's staying old. There's nothing wrong with staying with the old ways, but if you want to bring in more crowd, you need to keep it more modern. If you look at, the more popular games that are coming out and things like that, people's taste have changed from the old ways to the new ways. I'm not saying completely change your game and the way it is. I'm saying maybe add in another mode, like a hide and seek mode or prop hunt mode or something like that. Now, I'm still aware that you're working on a new game and you've been working on it for a couple of years now. I'm aware of this. I'm not expecting any of this to come out, at all. But I would like to actually get some sort of feedback from behavior, you know, on this. Let the community know what's going on. You used to hold all kinds of things in your actual community, and you used to be active on the creation forum and things like that, and on your website and everywhere else. Used to be very active and very engaged with the community. And now it's just like you guys kind of do your own things, and everybody else just waits for things to come out. I mean, it is what it is. It's the easiest way to take things, but I mean, the game's just, it's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's one of the best, hide and seek, cat and mouse type games out there. But it's stuck in the old times. I love playing the game, but I mean, between the long, load times that you can get, especially if you play with friends and all of that, and the that can be ruined, 10, 20 minute wait times ruined by getting tunneled out at the beginning of a match. And the only objective you really have to do is generators. So this is generator simulator. it gets boring at times. When you play a survivor main and you get tired of doing generators, all that's left is to play killer. When you play killer main and you get, down to iridescent one and all of that, and you start, playing well, the only thing after that is content creation. After content creation, that becomes, like you either become like a pro and go into a league and all of that, or you just make money off of playing the game. Then at that time, it's becoming your job to play said game instead of playing the game, for fun and all of that. But what if you're just a casual looking to play the game for fun? Or you're a casual and you're interested in going to the next step? Only thing you do in all of these maps is do generators. You kind of sort of got out when you went to like Midwich and things like that. When you had bodies falling out of lockers and scary things happening. You have a killer that is very visually pleasing and all of that. Now you just kind of need an associated map with her that has good visuals, has scary things happening all the time, really terrifying. The map itself can be interacted with, Like generators opening doors in the swamp and Gideon is good and all. Bodies falling out of lockers in Midwich is good and all. But let's go one step farther and actually make an actual scary, terrifying map that when people play it, they feel uneasy. And then the other half of the community is like, this map's dope, I want to play the shit out of this map. Now, said you did a very good job on Sadako, but now she needs an associated map that's worthy of her. That's, completely terrifying. It has to be balanced. It has to be fair for both sides. But, when the killer's walking through, I want it to scare them because things are, happening. I want it to scare the survivors when they walk around because things are happening. You want it to be like just this terrifying, full, immersive experience. Now that would be great. Now I know half of the things that I said are never going to happen and can't happen because budget and all of that. But I mean, if you guys have any extra time, make a Kickstarter. Post that shit in the community, post that shit on Facebook, Twitter, wherever the hell you want, and just start a Kickstarter. People will give you money if you post a Kickstarter. Say, hey, you guys want a new map? We want to try something new. It's going to cost a lot of money. Here's a Kickstarter. Raise us $100,000, $1,000,000, however fucking much money it takes to cost the map, and we'll make one when this Kickstarter gets complete. Or whenever this donation mark gets complete, we will make a super awesome map. Take that money you raise from everybody else in the community and run with it. You're gonna have to have, if it's gonna be $1,000,000, you're gonna have to have like checkpoints and all of that, obviously. Like, for example, at 100,000, you're gonna have to release, some community support thing and give everybody, I don't know, like 1,000 iridescent shards or something. Because if they don't reach the max, or so when you don't miss the max, you don't have to refund money. So, make little small mile markers, and as they raise money, you'll add in different things. You know, Iridescent shards at 100,000. At 500,000, we'll do a community event, play with the devs like you guys usually do, but make it like a big thing where you invite content creators and all of that, specifically to play with devs. If they want to, make an event to have the community come in and talk with devs, do a press conference or something, let everybody know what's going on with you, Well, I wouldn't say a press conference that costs money, but sit in a Zoom call or something and, have the community ask questions on the forum. What questions would you like to ask the devs? Sit down and then look at the questions and then answer the ones that are actually, appropriate on camera or in a podcast or something like that at $500,000, let you know about the project, a little teaser or something. And then as you're building up more and more money for the map, you eventually hit the goal and then you take that money and you start working on the map and all of that. you know, Sometimes it's nice to rely on the community. Sometimes it's terrible to rely on the community, but keeping the community involved and keeping them guessing about what's coming next keeps them interested, as opposed to everybody playing the new killer saying, oh, that's nice, and then 2 weeks later, you only have like 5 people playing her anymore. Everybody goes back to their mains. I don't know. I'm blabbering at this point, so I'm going to rename the title like so. And this is going to be the end of this particular talk. I got to end the video and then I will come back. Give me one moment. I appreciate anybody's time that watches this video or even takes any type of mental note. I'm not saying you have to follow, do anything, or any of this. I just wanted to get the creative juices flowing in the brain. So thank you, anybody that pays attention or listens to what I have to say. Really do appreciate you, especially on this issue. Also, please do something about slippery meat, man. You can ignore everything I say, but I beg you, please buff slippery meat.